Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? First off, I want to send nothing but peace and love out to you. With everything that's going on, it is a priority to maintain your peace, focus on positivity, and gain knowledge. Now, why do I say gain knowledge? Well, let's start from the top. Focus on your peace. With everything that's going on in the world today, it is no secret that there is absolutely no peace going on in the world right now, obviously, right? Now, when you're focusing on stress, that will literally break your body down. You feel what I'm saying? When you're not peaceful, and it is hard to be peaceful when you're not pursuing your purpose, right? You'll never be at peace, as a matter of fact, if you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. With everything in this world that is natural, there is a law to it. So you can take the plant, for example. A plant needs to grow. If it's not growing, what is it doing? It's dying, right? So if it's not growing, it's dying. You feel what I'm saying? That's with everything. You see a child growing. If that child is not growing, what's happening? It's dying. Okay, for you and me, now that we're older, we're adults, we're doing all this stuff, but if we're not growing, if we're not elevating on a mental level, and our reality reflects our mentality, right? If we're not growing on a mental level, then what are we doing? We're dying. If we're not growing, especially for you and me as adults, if we're not growing on any type of level, we're just settling for what we've been taught and what we've been conditioned to, then what are we doing? We're dying. We're waiting for our death. You know what I mean? Or maybe we think that we're just taking care of our kids or we're just paying the bills, but are you really? Are you really created to pay bills? Are you really created just to raise your children? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing jobs. I'm not dissing raising your children. But you have a purpose in this life. What is it? You won't really find peace until you start fulfilling your purpose. But it's all steps to get there. First, we gotta grow. You won't know what your purpose is until you start thinking clearly, right? Most often than not, a little key, most often than not, your purpose is what you loved, something that you would do for free. Like, ain't nobody gotta tell you. Like, for me, I'm in the process of cleaning my mom's yard, and that's not my purpose, but that's something I would do for free. You feel what I'm saying? Most often than not, your purpose is something that you're naturally good at. What are you naturally good at? Are you good at singing? Are you naturally good at computers? Are you naturally good at math? There's so many different things in this world that we're just naturally good at, and we would do it for free, right? We'd do it for free. That's how much we love that. That is called a passion. You feel what I'm saying? But in order to properly and successfully build that passion and create it into a whole living, creating general wealth out of it, you need to grow. So, in order to grow, what do we need? We need to gain knowledge. So, I mean, it's all tied together, right? But peace is super, super important. You need to protect your peace. Once you find it, never let it go. Never let it go. And keep chasing it. I want to say peace is the only thing you should chase. Okay? And listen to your intuition. If your intuition says, I shouldn't talk to this person, don't talk to them. Because that's you talking to you. How many times are you talking to yourself? Internally or maybe externally? How many times are you talking to yourself, but do you really listen to yourself? But you hear someone else talking, they're talking to you, what have you, and you listen to them. But you see, that person is no more important than you are. So if that person is, in your eyes, more important than you are to yourself, then that person is really not important at all, because no one can be as important to you as you are to yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So if you're not important enough to yourself to where you listen to what you have to say, then I promise you, nothing else is going to be important to you. Okay? So, peace. Focus and really maintain your peace. Now, the next thing is positivity. You need to focus on the positivity, or solution, if you will. You need to focus on the positivity. And the reason I say that is because we're powerful human beings. You and I are extremely powerful. No, we're not taught that. So if you've never heard this before, I really suggest you grab it or really just ponder on it, because you and I are extremely powerful. You know, if you believe in God or the universe or what have you, or greater source, put it this way: you're created in that huger source's image. I personally believe in God. And in, you know, we all know we're made in God's image, out of his likeness. Yo, let me say that again. We're made out of God's image, out of his likeness. You feel what I'm saying? We are powerful beings. Anything we focus on will manifest. So let's say that, and I understand with the condition and the environment we live in, a lot of us are in survival mode. You know what I mean? A lot of us, you know, we focus on the negativity because we want to be prepared for it, right? And I know how that is. I used to be the exact same way until recently, right? You know, you focus on the negativity because you don't know nothing else. You don't know you don't know what happiness feels like. And trust me, I know exactly how that is, because as I still learn and grow, I'm still new to happiness, to be honest with you. I'm still new to peace. I'm still new to this progression of positivity. But, you know what I mean? My entire life reaps the rewards that I've been implementing in it. Do you feel what I'm saying? I've been focusing on the positivity, and putting aside the negativity. Now, we always need to address the negative, always. But now we addressed, okay, that's a problem. Okay, why is it a problem? This, and this. Okay, if this is the problem, if this is causing the problem, how do we fix it? Now we focus on the positivity. We know the problem's there, so there's no point in focusing on it. Now we can turn that around and start focusing on what? The positive. Put the negativity aside and start focusing on what can make the problem, I don't want to say go away, but what will solve the issue. You feel what I'm saying? So positivity is important. Most of us do know about energies, right? But when it comes to positivity, a lot of us don't take into account that if we put our energy into negativity, what are we gonna get? If we put our energy into positivity, what are we gonna get? For example, how many of you have done something in your life, or you're going through something and you kept thinking, like for example, I had a car, right? Someone had hit me, the suspension was all messed up, the alignment, all that expensive stuff, right? It was all messed up, so I was going through tires like crazy. And I didn't have the money at the time to get another car or to fix it or what have you, so I was going through tires like crazy. And every pothole I hit, my mind would think, oh, the tires, oh, the tires, oh, the tires. You know, every time I drove, it was like, oh, the tires, I don't want them to pop, I don't want them to pop. You know, and I honestly feel because of the negativity I would put into it, my tires will always pop. It was like I thought the negative thought, and I constantly thought about it, so I manifested it, and all of a sudden, I needed new tires soon. You know, how many of times have you gone through something and you thought of the negative first before anything happened? And then when that negative thing happens, you're like, of course it happens to me, or it would happen to me. You feel what I'm saying? How many times has that happened to you? Because you're manifesting your thoughts. Whether you like it or not, you're manifesting your reality. You're manifesting your thoughts. So if you don't like how you're living, if you don't like the condition you're in, okay, there's a negative side. But what's the positive side to it? How can we fix it? Right? So maintaining a solution-based thinking is a sure way to get to where you want to go faster, but it's also, I want to say, that one of the most valuable things that you can own in your life is a solution-based mind, right? As well as self-realization, but that's another topic for another day, right? So we got peace, positivity. We want to manifest the positive. We're done with the negative. You feel what I'm saying? Ever since we were young, we were taught in how to negatively think. And when you do the research and look into the numbers, I believe it's like maybe 95% of the world think negative. But then look at their surroundings, look at their environment, look at how they're living. No money in the bank account, waiting on each check, right? Each check to come in so you can actually do stuff or pay stuff. Like I said earlier, you were not created to pay bills. Really think about that. You're not created to pay bills. You're not created to live paycheck to paycheck. You're not created just to accumulate air. You have a purpose in this life. I say this all the time, but out of all the little drops of semen, you made it. All of the little drops of semen, you made it. And it is nothing but a blessing and honor to have you here with us today. Because you are so valuable. You have such a huge purpose in this life that only you can feel. All you gotta do is look inside of you. Listen to yourself. The last thing I spoke on is gain knowledge. Now, when it comes to peace and positivity, those are attributes that have to be worked on daily. And it takes time to get there. So you have to give yourself room to breathe, you know. And like I said all the time, you know, you have, let's say you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or people in your family that are always doing you dirty, or friends that do you dirty constantly, but you give them the benefit of the doubt. You allow them to come back into your life. You allow them, you know, you accept their apology maybe for the 5th, 6th time. You know, we've all been there. I've been there myself, you know. So you give them all these chances because you love them. You don't want to believe what they did to you, or you want to believe that they're going to change, or you want to believe that they're going to treat you better and value you the way you deserve to be valued. I understand. I've been there myself, you know, and sometimes I still fall in that cycle to where I give people second chances. But just like they have a mind of their own, you have a mind of your own. So what happens if you switch that attention and that love and affection that you had on them and start giving it to yourself? What were to happen if you started saying, you know what, my name is Heavenly, right? So sometimes I talk to myself, what if you give yourself this love and think, okay, Heavenly, you messed up today, you know, you shouldn't have watched so much TV. You could have been studying. And instead of getting really down and hard on yourself and being like you, or me, think, well, okay, I'm gonna do better. I will do better. I'm gonna give myself room to breathe because I know growing is a healing process. And I need to give myself time to go through this process. I know what it feels like now to be disappointed in myself. And I don't want to disappoint myself ever again. And I know I will along the way, but as long as I stay realizing what I did to put myself in this condition, I will find the knowledge, I will find the steps necessary to change my thought process. You feel what I'm saying? Imagine if you gave the love that you would tell that, how easily you would tell that, or let someone else tell you that, and you'll accept it. Imagine if you tell yourself that. You gotta give yourself room to grow. Again, with the plant, you know, it has all this soil. You have to really put it in the environment. It needs to grow. You need to feed it, water it, you know, give it as much sun as you can, fresh air. You need to do the things necessary to grow. Put yourself in an environment to grow. And within putting yourself in the environment to grow, you'll need to be gaining knowledge. You know, because now you're getting aware. Now you're realizing that, you know what, this is not it. You know, this is not all that was made for me. I am made for something better. I am gonna achieve my purpose. I'm gonna find my purpose. I am not made just to make someone else's dreams a reality, aka your job. I'm not here just to pay bills. I'm not here just to have children. Children are nothing but a blessing, but you have a purpose of your own. And within achieving that purpose and doing what you need to do to elevate your reality, everyone around you is going to reap the rewards as well, especially your children. So first you need to do it for you, and of course your children are going to follow you either way. For those of you that have kids, I have a daughter, she's 4 years old, and I constantly remind myself that I'm an example for her whether I like it or not. I'm her example. So am I going to be a good example? Am I going to show, is she going to see through me how to get out of this condition? So when she grows up, she's not even in this condition, to the point to where if she wants to be back in this condition, by the time she grows up, that's going to be her own choice, because I'm going to make sure that she has a platform, that she is raised up out of this condition by the time she's ready to get out there and do her own thing. I am making that decision to become what I need to be as a mother, because I know I'm an example. So what kind of example am I striving to be? And if I want to be a good example, I have to unlearn everything I've been taught, or sift through it and relearn how to be a good mom. I need to relearn things that I was never taught. And how do I do that? I study. We may ask, well, what do you study? Whatever comes to my soul. If I feel like I need to focus more on peace, or I need to focus more on how to be patient, because patience is everything. I need to focus on how to be patient, then I'm going to look up different techniques on how to remain patient and be present. So I'm going to look up different ways on how to meditate so I can do that throughout my day-to-day. I'm going to focus on ways to preserve my energy. I'm going to focus on ways, you feel what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I need to do. So when I say you need to gain knowledge, it's not something extravagant you need to spend all this money to do. No, you can do it just straight off your phone. It's imperative to obtain knowledge. Okay? You know, if you're looking through your current situation and not liking the way things have played out for you, or not liking the way your life is reflecting, really think about the mind state you have. Because again, your mentality reflects your reality reflects your mentality. So what are you thinking about? You know, what are you doing? What kind of habits do you have? You know what I mean? And again, you are such a powerful person. Like I said before, whatever you focus on is gonna be manifested, whether you like it or not. Whatever you focus on is gonna be manifested. And you deserve so much out of this life, family. You deserve so much out of this life. You just gotta grab it. This life is yours. Think about this. This planet was made for you and me. This planet was not made for the animals. This planet was made for you and me, the highest form of creation. You know, what I like to call the two differences. You know, I'm reading a book called How to Outwit the Devil, right? Or any kind of book from Napoleon Hill. If you ever heard of him, go ahead and look into him. He does have some interesting things to say. You know, it's a lot. His books have opened the minds and changed a lot of people's lives or mentalities. But one thing I noticed about Napoleon here is he always refers to the other self. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced, I'm sure you have. You were so persistent to get something done. You were so, I want to say motivated, but you knew something was going to get done and you were going to get it done. You were happy about it, you were passionate about it, and you got it done. And you kind of amaze yourself. Like for me in sports, you know, that's how I would get. Like I would just get in the zone, I would play, shoot, you know. I just got in the zone. And it became passion. It became like as if someone else was taking over. So when you really think about that, and you read or hear Napoleon Hill, he talks about the other self. Now, that other self, I perceive to be your God self. Again, we're made in his image and his likeness, right? And placed on an earth as the highest form of creation. I believe that's your God self. Now, also Napoleon Hill refers to, again, outwitting the devil. It's a whole interview between him and the devil. And the devil says that he's always within us and stuff like that. And I honestly firmly believe that there's a devil within us and there's a God within us. Now, everything you do either manifests the God within or the devil within. And now I'm constantly thinking about that because that's a huge thing, to be honest with you. That's really huge. So when you're going out throughout your day to day, and you're doing things, everything you're doing is manifesting your God self or the devil within. You feel what I'm saying? Now, we've all had times that we're like the sweetest, most caring, most loving, most whatever in the world, right? And people just think, oh, you're an angel, or oh, you're so sweet, all this stuff, right? And then we've all had times when we're ugly, like we're just downright, no one want to be around us type of thing, right? But think about that. It's like a yin and yang. Only everything you do goes to one side or the other. You already are the best version of yourself. You just need to pull it out of you. You need to manifest your God self. And on the flip side, you're your worst self also. So when you think about that, are you manifesting the devil within or the God within? And in order to elevate, in order to manifest the God within, we got to learn. We got to educate ourselves. We got to gain knowledge on a different level. Ever since youth, ever since we were children, the way we've been conditioned is to not think for ourselves, be dependent on other people, and how to manifest the devil within. How to be negative all the time. Because like I said, 95% or more of the world think negatively. And our realities can reflect that, right? We can't say that it can't, because when you look out and you talk to people who have a negative mindset, look at the way they live. They're never happy, and the list goes on, right? We're taught since such a young age to be employees, to not think for ourselves, to think we're nothing, all this, that, and the third. When I'm here to tell you, you are an amazing human being. You are growing, you are thriving, you are learning, but you have to keep going in that direction, or like I said, if you're not growing, you're dying. You feel what I'm saying? So it is crucial to gain knowledge. It is crucial. And it's applied knowledge. When you apply the knowledge is when your life will change completely. Now, when you gain knowledge and you don't apply it, that's when you realize ignorance is bliss. But you're vibrating on such a higher frequency that honestly, it's going to be no thing. You feel what I'm saying? And you won't want to go back. You won't. You know what I mean? So I want you to really take into consideration peace, positivity, and knowledge. Focus on it. Until you're able to be on your own feet long enough to where you can help the next man or woman focus on it. But in order to grow, you need to educate yourself. Because the world we live in is not going to educate us. They're not going to teach us the things we need to know in order to grow. They're not. When I've spoken to people about gaining knowledge, a lot of them will tell me, I went to school, I have this diploma, I'm a master's graduate, or what have you. But with everything going on in the world today, it's no secret. Everything that's going on in the world today, are you able to use that degree? And okay, you're able to start making, you're starting to work for better money, okay. But why should you work for money? Money is nothing but a frequency, by the way. A frequency you're on. So, if you're having to work for this money, do you really want to do that your whole life? You want to wait till you're in your mid-50s, 60s, 70s to retire? Because there's a better way to it. You can make your money work for you. But we've never been taught that, right? So a lot of us don't think that way. But we can make our money work for us. This is our life now. Again, you're not made to pay bills. You're not made to just do this and that or whatever. You're made to live, to elevate. You're made to fulfill your purpose, right? You're made for something so much greater. You know, since we were kids, we were taught, like I said, from our parents, you need to listen to me, I'm an adult. From that shaping, from when we were children, we were sent to school for 12 years. And in school, what did it tell us? I'm your teacher, you need to listen. You don't question authority and all this stuff. So now what do? We either didn't graduate, we graduated and now we're working a dead-end job, or we're going to college in hopes, after all the debt and all the struggle and all the stress, hoping that we'll get a job. You see that vicious cycle? I didn't even get too deep into it and I won't right now, but that is a vicious cycle that needs to break, and it all depends on us. You feel what I'm saying? There's no way around it, family. If you want a better life, we got to start thinking different. And it really does consist of unlearning what we were taught and relearning who we are. I'm going to say that again. We need to unlearn what we were taught, or sift through it and relearn who we are. Because no one ever taught us who we are. But I'm here today to tell you, you are magnificent. You are a reflection of God, the universe, whoever you call to, whoever you think's the highest source. You are made in that image. You have and do possess those powers. Why are you going to tap into it? That's the question. Okay. Now, you know, I'm not dissing, you know, having children, because I have my daughter. I'm not dissing having a job, because you do need to pay bills. You do need to live. But there's more to that. Okay? Now, I'm not saying just gain knowledge and don't do anything with it. I'm saying gain knowledge that you can elevate out of your condition. All right? Now, if you have any questions as to what I do, you can definitely come and message me, you know, inbox me, and I'll definitely talk to you, and we can start talking about how to elevate your situation. What do we need to do to get you on the right path? And right now, a lot of us don't have jobs. A lot of us have gone in unemployment. I don't know exactly the numbers, but it's in the thousands or what have you. A lot of us don't have jobs, and what are we again? Dependent on the government, or dependent on this and that, or having to go to work while there's a virus. I was bartending before this pandemic locked everybody down, right? I was bartending and they reopened the bars, and I've been blessed. You know, we gotta have the solution-based thinking, right? So I've been thinking of different ways to get to reel in different streams of income, right? And I've been blessed to come across a platform with hundreds of thousands of individuals all across the world, growing on all levels and learning a skill set that is recession proof, right? Job proof. You feel what I'm saying? So I've been blessed to come across this, and I've been learning, I've been growing, I've been studying it. And I've been collaborating with all these different sorts of people with the same mindset, and it's crazy because I've never had that experience. But they opened up the jobs for bartenders, and I said no. They asked me if I was gonna come, and I said no. Now that bartending was some good money. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was the best legal money I've ever made in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that should really tell you right there how effective, you know, what I've manifested into my life. You know, but that should also tell you how little they care about us. They're gonna send us back out into the work environment because they need to make money at the risk of our lives. You feel what I'm saying? So now we're dependent. So now it's obvious that we need more than one source of income. We need to start depending on ourselves. All right, family. So 3 things I want to challenge you guys to work on is peace, protecting your peace, positivity, focusing on positivity and the solution and taking action to it. And third is gaining the knowledge to fulfill the first two: peace, positivity, and gain the knowledge, because that will tie these together and it'll embed it into your life. So family, that's really what I wanted to talk about today. Again, it's nothing but peace, love, and light out to you. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. You know, if you really want to see and get out of the situation you're in, message me and we can definitely do something to get that started. My name is Heavenly, and you have an amazing day. If you're watching my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment. Let's have a little conversation. You know, tell me how you feel, or maybe some things that you could work on, and I'll do the same. And yeah, so I hope you guys have an amazing day. One love.